right, so today's been a busy day here. As you guys know, I'm off from my regular job on Mondays. So I've been doing some working around the homestead. I got a bunch of the beds, I got 4 of the beds mulched, and I got some plants up potted. So doing real well. We've had some super hot days the last 2 days. We've been in the high 80s, which is unusual for Southern California this time of year. So I was trying to especially make sure I got the mulch on the beds. We use the straw mulch, and I wanted to make sure so that the watering. We aren't going to install drip irrigation yet this year, just because of the cost and because of all the other costs we spent with setting up the beds and everything this year. So it's going to be kind of tricky to figure out the watering this year, but then we'll do the beds next year with the drip irrigation. But what I really wanted to talk to you today about was about canning. And if you look, you saw our video on Saturday where we had the canning disaster where one of ours broke. But more importantly, this is the first year we've ever really canned. Well, it's the first year we've canned together. Jim used to do some canning, and I did very little, not since I was like little, with my grandmother and great-grandmother have I canned. So when we decided to start canning this year, we didn't realize the canning lid shortage that was going on. So we had some jars, and when we first started looking in January, you couldn't find jars or lids anywhere where we live. So we started trying to get creative, and we started looking around, and we got a few of them on Marketplace to begin with, but that was mainly jars because you don't know, even though they tell you the lids are new. So you have to be really, really careful if you're getting your lids off of someplace like Marketplace. And we want to make sure that we're only using made in the USA lids. And so we've had to get really, really creative. So I just wanted to give you some suggestions. In one of the groups I'm on, I did find out that Ball supposedly has said that in April there will start being more things available, and so we just have to hold out for another month. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that. With everything that's gone on with the pandemic and then the ship stuck in the Suez Canal, I don't think we can put all of our eggs in that basket and assume that that's what's going to happen. So we have started doing some different things. I pretty much get online several times a day, and I check places like Target and Walmart, and I check it as delivery, and I also check it as pickup, and I check it as in store. And occasionally I have found, mainly the things I find at our Walmart and Target that are in stock are the wide mouth lids. Now, I don't know if you guys have found that that's the same thing where you are. But wide mouth, we can find 1 or 2 boxes every once in a while, and we can definitely find the jars with the lids. But we really just need the lids. We have plenty of rings, and we have a lot of jars. So this is what we're looking for. And we can occasionally find the wide mouth ones. It's the regular ones that for some reason here in our area of California, we're having trouble finding. And I don't know if that's true in yours. So, you know, leave me a comment below and let me know what's going on in your area. So as you know, if you can, these come 12 in a box, and it's no rings, it's just the lids, since you cannot reuse the lids safely according to FDA directions. So we've done this when we can. We actually laughed one Saturday night. We held our breath because it said there was 6 at a Walmart about 30 minutes away, and we couldn't get our pickup until like 7 o'clock at night. So we were sitting in the dark parking lot, and I felt like we were making a drug deal. But we did get 6 of these. I got really lucky one time. I just ran into a grocery store, and the grocery store had almost a case of them, and I grabbed those. They're much more expensive in the grocery store than if you can find them at someplace like Walmart. Now, I know at Walmart, there's the mainstay types. I've never used those, and I'm just a little bit leery about using them. I hear people say they use them all the time and have no issues. So if you've had an experience with that, go ahead and leave us a comment down there below too, so that we can know what your experience has been with the Ball or the Curve versus the mainstay brand. Now, the other way you can find your lids is you can find boxes of rings and lids in the wide mouth and in the regular mouth. Here again, we have the same issue here. I can usually find the rings and the lids with the wide mouth, but finding the rings and the lids with the regular is almost impossible. Now, I got very lucky. One of my cousins, I put out a plea on Facebook, and one of my cousins found them in El Dorado, Kansas, and sent me 8 boxes of them. So that got us going. Because we are homesteading and because we plan on doing a ton of canning of not only our vegetables, but we want to do things like soups, and we've done broths and stocks. So we're gonna need a lot of them. So we have to really get going. So basically what I do is I check all the time online. And I literally get on several times a day just trying to see what I can find. And sometimes I find 1 or 2 of them, but of course if you're doing like the delivery or a pickup order, you have to have a certain amount. So the other way you can do it is you can just buy jars, and of course the jars come with brand new lids, which is great, but you get to a certain point where you're not going to need any more jars. And we're almost to that point now. I will occasionally find something that I think maybe we could use a few more of, whether it's the regular mouths in pints or quarts or whatever, or if it's the wide mouth. And I will do that if I have to in a pinch. But obviously I'm going to be paying more for something that I might not need. So the next step we took was, I had read about the Tatler and Harvest Guard reusable lids. And again, I was a little leery of those because I read a lot of reviews on them, and some people have super good luck with them and some people don't have good luck with them. Now, most of the ones that don't have good luck with them do say it's probably operator error. So what we did was we did some research between the Tatler and the Harvest Guard. And from what I can figure out, the Harvest Guard is started by the son of the man who owns Tatler. And there evidently was a family falling out somewhere along the lines, and Tatler had not patented their lids. So the son went and started Harvest Guard. And there's other videos online on YouTube you can look at where it compares the 2 of them, and they're pretty much, they're very, very similar. They're not identical, but they are very, very similar, and they're not interchangeable. I will say that. So with those, there is a learning curve. I've heard that Harvest Guard has better videos as far as telling you how to use them. So what we did was we went ahead, and it's been almost 2 months now ago that we ordered Harvest Guard lids, and still haven't received them. Now, we did get an email from Harvest Guard about 2 weeks ago that said because somebody had featured them on one of their videos that they now had they were inundated with orders and they were way behind, and they were trying to get them out as soon as possible. It did not give a date. So right now we literally are sitting at 2 months ago that we ordered them. Now we're fine right now because we have found some of these other lids. But we were really wanting to get started with the Harvest Guard so that we could get going on that learning curve with some of the things that weren't as important to us, because some people do have trouble getting them to seal. And so anyway, we're anxiously awaiting those, and I'm excited to learn those, not only because of the ball and cur lid shortage, but also because we're trying very hard to reduce our footprint on the earth. And so if we can find reusable lids versus the ones that we're gonna have to throw away every time, that's something that we really wanna do. So if you have any other ideas on where people can look for lids, I know people do say there's Layman's, I believe it is. They're out right now too. And then you can also order them from Uline. But Uline right now is only letting people that have ordered canning lids from them before order, and they'll only let them order 2 of whatever quantity it is they come in. The other thing is, if you have something like an Amish store close by you, I know they sell them in sleeves. And when we actually go home to Kansas in June, I'll be going to Yoder, Kansas, and I'm definitely going to check out their general store there and see if maybe we can find some of the sleeves. But you know, just keep looking. Don't give up heart. Every once in a while we will just find 1 or 2 boxes, and hopefully that will be enough to keep you going on your journey. But like I said, if you have any ideas of things I can do, I won't order the lids off Amazon. I've seen too many poor reviews of how they're actually not made in the USA, even though they say they are, and that people just have real issues with them. They're imitations, and they just aren't as good and they're just not what they're supposed to be. So that's not something I will do. I order lots of things off of Amazon, but I won't order my canning lids off of Amazon. So anyway, if you liked this video, please definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because we are trying to get more viewers going. And if you have any ideas for videos you'd like to see from us, just let us know. Have a great day.